He talks about the birth of the particular and the collective here, and about the collective he says it means the development of the intellectuals. So today, when we're working with the broad public about how to evolve towards a new society, a new world, what's the point we want to take them to in terms of the development of the public? What does it mean to be born to a new state?
First of all, we need to understand that dissemination is spiritual work. First of all, that's the heading. Now, if someone doesn't understand, disagrees, doesn't want to, it doesn't matter. He has to scrutinize the state. He has to clarify it, and then he will see that that's the way it is. We're talking about inner work. What is inner work? The changing of the self. Meaning the spiritual world is found within a person, within his inner change. As he says here, to come to a new world, to the world of correction, means to take one's attributes and to move them from an order to receive to an order to bestow. A person does it. Inside, it's an interchange. When we go out, it seems to us as if we go outside of ourselves. But we don't go outside of ourselves. Because if I accept this assumption that we're all one body, that the still vegetative, animate, and speaking are altogether found in one, are parts of one matter, and this whole matter has to reach to the level of the speaking. And within the speaking, there's also a division into the still vegetative, animate, and speaking, that the correction starts from the degree of the speaking, of the purest in the degree of the speaking, who are special people who have an attraction, a tendency, an inclination, an approach, a connection, something that has to do with spirituality. So we need to understand that our work, although it is in inner work, the correction is made within the person, but the correction is by connecting to the whole of reality. Of course that it's seemingly one thing and its opposite, at least seemingly. Because if I'm a Kabbalist, I think I might sit in a certain corner and make my own corrections and intentions quietly, remotely, distant from the public, and but it doesn't seem to me to be the way. It's completely not our approach, because if my matter, if my soul is found outside of me, and I'm only a point, then I have to connect to everyone. Then it turns out that going out toward everyone else is the way to awaken my matter, as we study in the perception of reality. So we have a problem here. So we have to fix that, on the one hand. On the other hand, when we go out to disseminate, what do we explain to people? We explain to people that you shouldn't hope for anything external, not the municipality, not the government, not any organization of any kind, or external people or countries or the UN or UNESCO or whoever might come to you. You shouldn't rely on no one. No one will help you, because everyone are egoists, and the higher they are in the ladder of control, in the hierarchy of control, then it means that they're greater egoists. So if you have your neighbor onwards, you will never receive no help from anyone whatsoever. Everyone will wish to receive something from you, to take from you as much as possible. If you are not despaired yet, and you still have some hopes, or you get angry at them, it means that you're naive. That's it. A person who understands the world, who understands the nature of creation, doesn't place hopes on anyone, because if everyone are egoists, I hope that they'll just leave me alone. and vice versa. If they would wish to take care of me, then eventually I will be harmed by it. There's no chance that good actions will stem from them. There's no chance. So if we understand the world this way, and it's truly to perceive it this way, it's the true way to perceive the world. We see it as a result of the despair in which the whole humanity is, by looking at governments or different important people and the hopes that were placed in different things and eventually weren't realized. So we can come to a person and tell him, when we explain that there's a golden mine before you. Really, abundance, health, strength, confidence, happiness, and joy. Where? Especially between you and the others, here in your neighborhood, in your country, in your city, in your country, but between people. Meaning, from this moment onwards, you don't send him outside to external, rather inside. You have to arrange your relations with the ones who are close to you, physically, and build your life in a good way. So you should place hopes only on yourself, only on those who are found in your field of vision. This is the only way you can fix your life. If you'll start to really systematically work on improving the relationships between you, then there, inside, you'll suddenly reveal from a certain empty place where there's nothing, you'll start to reveal what kind of sources of joy and health and ability to arrange everything. Really supernatural forces, higher forces. And then you won't be dependent upon no one who sits in a certain capital city, because what does he want? He just wants to blackmail you even more. And there's no other choice, no other way, because it is impossible that corrupted people will produce corrected actions. We've studied this from history, I think, enough. They don't hear, they don't listen, they have their own problems, and you see everyone, all those governors go to prison, and that's it. And that's enough. Take care of yourself. And you, here in this work, do not depend upon anyone else.